time to go fight the big scary dinosaur. Hopefully the little bit of setup I did prior helps. Oh, I gotta check one more thing real quick. Alright. Alright. Gave Rean Kisaragi. Alicia the rapid bow. Didn't get him a new weapon yet. Got her heavy edge. On top of that, they're all level 10 now. Beautiful. Okay. So what way was the big scary dinosaur? To the east. Turbo mode! Let's go! Go talk to the farmers. We gotta talk to him. Yeah, yes, Nepgear. That farmhouse is huge.
牛がいるよ。
Would you happen to be Cyro? Here to take care of the monster that's causing the issues? Would like a little further details on it? No, are you? I'm the man you're looking for. Well, I didn't know I'd be students taken care of. I wasn't wearing young ladies in your group. The rest of you are younger than I expected too. Perhaps this is too dangerous for you after all. Thanks for your concern. However, there's no need to worry. All of us have combat experience. Serves as part of my training too, so allow us to undertake this. Well, if you insist. Plateau of sorts. If you proceed beyond here, that's where the monster tends to appear. Truly ferocious, so much as passing by the area is impossible. It attacks everything it sees. Do take care. Being careless with this one doesn't seem like an option. Yeah, we will have to be thoroughly prepared. Okay. We gotta go beat Barney the dinosaur. Oh, yeah. Currently, Laura is the only one with an S-break. Because S-breaks are story locked. Oh, he's over there.
大陸横断鉄道。外国に通じているんだったな。
ええ、このずっと先に東の国境ガレリア要塞があるわ。せい。この程度恐るるに足らぬ。マイル。任せてちょうだい。僕の番だね。やっ。行くぞ。あ、マイ。行くぞ。よし。これで大丈夫だ。
46 seconds. Not bad. Surviving ball.
この程度恐るるに足らぬ。
俺の番だな。
行くぞ。私の僕の番だ。
マイル。
私の番だ。任せてちょ。僕の番だね。
マイル。
私の番ね。任せる。我が剣に。
Yeah. Okay. And I finally figured out why you were saying, oh, you'll be fine. Alicia's skill, Holy Arrow, restores CP and HP. It's just like, hello? Man, I gotta put the cannon back on you. Really? That's the big scary dinosaur? It's an elite. Huh? That's the monster we're looking for? Certainly seems to be. Pretty tough. What do? Don't have any choice. We have to kill it. Double check your equipment. Need to be prepared. Pistol. Right. Probably should heal her a little. Yeah. Welcome back, good sir.
手強いぞ。気をつけろ。俺の番だな。さあ、一気に行くぞ。
任せてあげるがよい。僕の番だね。みんな元気を出して。
You hit pretty hard. Okay.
私の番だな。
Yeah, so you're weak to water.
任せてちょうだい。みんな頑張って。そなたに感謝。ありがとう。僕の番だね。行くぞ。僕の番だね。
That's a nice bit of damage.
そこだ。ター。チャンスだ。
Hey, a link attack.
任せてちょうだい。そこ。行くぞ。さてと。
Could have been just by the looks of her. She sounds like her so much.
私の番ね。任せるがよい。砕けちゃ
え。俺の番だな。ター。見たか。八王が一頭。
Scary. They said big scary dinosaur. I was expecting Barney's evil cousin. I was expecting Freddy the dinosaur.
やった。
Oh. True. Gotta love it. That takes care of that. Don't know how we did it, but we won. Yeah. Even tougher if not the power of combat. You hate to admit it, why? On that, should go tell people at the farm. Well, they will be pleased. The big scary dinosaur's gone. Something wrong? It's not. Let's go. Yeah. No more big scary dinosaur. We're gold. Oh god. The devil mosquitoes. Yo. Oh. They are? Well. That's unintentional. Hold on. Let me unlock that. And let me turn this up on the OBS side. Should be better. Or maybe I've made it too loud. I don't know. Weird. Okay. Oh, you taking care of it? Yeah, thank goodness. I can finally begin harvesting again. Found myself surprised how close this area is to Seldic. Would have been much quicker to make a request to the provincial army instead. Well, it is close, but area in Seldic as a whole, really. Oh, it's on the outskirts of the Cruzan province? Provincial army isn't very interested in aiding. Ah, it's not too hard to believe considering their attitude earlier. Certainly doesn't sit well with me. Probably shouldn't say any more on the matter, however, I still do owe you for all this. Take these. Fresh eggs, strawberries, syrup, and salt? Oh man, can we really have all this? We got enough to last us here. Sweet. Thank yous. Thank yous, thank yous. Don't get much fresher than this. Rather envious you have the opportunity to... Wow. Benefits of being a farmer indeed. No, it's not all good. I'm getting tougher lately, seeing as how things are being... imports. Importing's become a much easier task thanks to the railroad and international flights. More and more goods can now be legally imported as a result of the rising population. Huh. Shouldn't be wasting your time with all this. Ah, so she did send us to learn. Farmers are struggling thanks to imports. Actually learned a lot from this request. Yeah. Alright. So all of Sarah's requests so far, I've mostly been get to know the area. Huh. Guess that does it for all the mandatory tasks. I don't know about you guys, but I'm poop. Same, I don't venture up the highways very often too. You seem okay though. Well, hometown's on the countryside, so I'm kinda used to this, and with all the training Laura does, I imagine this is probably nothing for her too. Find this level of exercise quite manageable, however... What is it? It's nothing. Should return to the inn, should we not? Yeah, let's go let Sarah know. Give her a report and also ask her a bit more of the purpose behind the field studies. Definitely be good to know she hasn't told us anything about what's happening tomorrow either. Yeah! We gotta go talk to Sarah, who's probably more plastered than when we left. Oh, this is gonna be good. Alright. Oh? Walk up to the hotel and it's a cutscene. Don't give me crap. The one paid. What's going on? Something happening over at the market. Appears to be a matter of dispute. Should we go take a look? Yeah, let's go. Hmm? Don't give me that crap. This is my spot. I paid for it. It's mine. I'm the one who paid. Oh god, they're fighting over spots. I even got the permit, so stop lying and vamoose. What's the problem? Can we help in some way? Which of these two gents gets control of the area to set up the stall? The young merchant over there is local, while that merchant wearing the suits from the capital. So they're both claiming the same spot. How odd. Permits for the market are issued by the province's ruling lord. So for Seldic, that would be... Ah! This isn't good. Who are you? Unhand me. What's going on? But violence isn't going to solve anything. You need to calm yourself. You've been worked into a rage. Yeah, these guys, they don't seem very talky. What are you, high schoolers? Nothing to do with you meddling kids. What is this, Scooby-Doo? We're having a mature discussion here, so I'll thank you not to interfere. Since when is grabbing a person by the neck considered mature? If you truly intend to have a mature discussion, perhaps try acting more like adults. What'd you say to me? Students from Thor's military academy currently visiting the town on field study. While we are not yet formal members of the army, I'm afraid we simply can't ignore a fight in public places. Military academy. So they're a bunch of soldiers in training. What in Adidos' name is happening here? What you've done, Otto. Been filled in on what happened. Understand both of you have a permit for the same stall. Yeah. Both permits expire at the same time too. What's the meaning of this? it's greatly inconveniencing others. Be happy to discuss the matter in private, but I'll need to ask both of you to put your differences aside until it's resolved. Why not just be buddies and halfsies the stall? I guess. It's a close one. Seems everything's gonna be fine. Guess he's the guy in charge. Really appreciate the four of you stepping in to help defuse the situation, though I should expect no less from the infamous Class 7. Wow. Word spreads that far? Oh? How'd you know about Class 7? I'm manager of Celtic's Grand Market. Wow, some things to discuss with you, so kind of come along and treat you to some tea. Okay. I guess we're getting tea from the old man. Hmm? What? So you were responsible for choosing our assignments. Indeed. Van Dyke's an old friend of mine, you see. He asked me to personally select a few tasks you might be able to complete. Well, that was nice of him. Appreciate your consideration as well. Oh, it's no trouble at all. Likewise, grateful for you handling troublesome tasks off my hands. I can't thank you enough for helping at the market. If you hadn't been there, I imagine somebody would have gotten hurt. Just glad we got there when we did. Oh, they're taking turns. Same stall at the front of the market. Both of their permits are genuine, but the merchandise and temperaments don't lend themselves. Oh, they can't share a space because of what they're selling. That's sad. Eventually, they agreed to a compromise where they would each make use of the front stall on alternate weeks. The other stall we reserved is near the back of the market, however, so whoever's relegated there will likely see far lower sales. Better than nothing, I guess. Still really unfortunate. Must admit, I do find this whole matter perplexing. To my knowledge, the issue in the market permit's sole responsibility of each province is ruling the Lord. For a mistake such as this to be made in the first place raises some rather unpleasant questions. Well, it's the Lord's duty to control the flow of goods. If he can't handle it, the local economy could really suffer. Quite right. Ordinarily, the responsibility would fall upon the Duke's household. The Duke? Cruzan province is ruled by Duke Albera, one of the four most powerful nobles in the entire country, but lately the situation surrounding Duke's household has been getting a bit complicated. Complicated? A few months ago, he increased his sales tax. Whoa! An increase in sales tax. With a large percentage of the profits being taken from them, the merchants. Oh. Fights like the one you saw earlier become more and more commonplace. Oh, I see. Sales tax something should not be raised without careful consideration. Oy. History has shown us how damaging such actions can be. Never heard of anything like that happening in the capital. Tried raising objections to the increase? And the Barhad numerous times petitioned Duke personally. They always just drive me away at the gate without listening to a word I have to say. Been going on for roughly 2 months now? Oof, 2 months. If that's the case, the mix-up with the permits may be more than just an accident. You suggesting they might be getting careless when dealing with the market, or maybe deliberately trying to cause problems. I don't think it's a good idea to jump to conclusions, but I will say all this... Oh. So the soldiers would have intervened. Oh? Unlike the Imperial Army, the Provincial Army's main priority is maintaining the status quo throughout their territory. So mediating arguments would... Oh. Yeah, it should. Seems that unless we accept the tax increase, they're going to turn a blind eye to the market. Oh. So, what this is looking like is we're gonna whoop some ass. Yeah. Okay. That she is. Like, oi. Sorry, I shouldn't be talking about matters like this with you. Strictly internal affair, and be dealing with us merchants. You have no reason to concern yourselves with it. Focus on your field study, and I'll have a new list of tasks for you tomorrow morning as well. You will? Oh, so you were asked to prepare for each day of our visit. That's right, I got a few difficult ones in mind, but I'm sure you're up for them. At least I hope you are. Don't worry! Do our best to meet your expectations. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, quick sec. Sounds unfair, I agree. Provincial lords have the duty and right to decide upon collecting taxes in the regions they control. As long as they remain the case, there's not really much general populace can do to stand against them. Reluctant to comment on how others choose to rule their own territories, but harassing one's people like this seems clearly inappropriate. There are many rumors about the current head of House Albero. Current head is Eustace's dad, right? Look up and ask Eustace for some help here? Doubt there's anything he could do among the nobility. Decisions made by the head of the house are absolute. And since the Alberos represent one of the four great houses, the old tradition is absolutely guaranteed to be alive and well. Emperor himself is probably one with more power than the heads. Guess that's a no then. So you're all busy mulling things over. Excellent, excellent. Hi, Sarah. Wow, she's actually sober. Sarah? What brings you here? You're gonna see Group B now? Town of Parm's considerable distance from here. Let me worry about that. You four are perfectly capable of looking after yourselves anyway, right? Put your heads together and think. I'm certain you'll see what you need to do. Tito's be with you. I'll be looking forward to your report. The fact that she goes from plastered to bastard to sober that quickly. Just like, damn. Can't believe it. It's as though she knows exactly what's going on. Even though she spent the whole day drinking at the inn. Can she read minds or something? Suggest we return to the room and rest for the night in any case. Still have reports to write, so an early dinner seems wise. Yeah, you're right. I'm so tired. Me too. I feel like I'm gonna fall asleep at the table without even... It's okay, Elliot. It's okay, bud. Wait. Hold on. Let's go to the factory. Modify slots. Do I open his line 2? Which is a blue slot? Or... yeah, I'll open his all slot. Arcus covers. Oh, I want that black faceplate. Oh, that is pretty. Oh, I want that. Orbs. Shield too. No, I'm trying. It's that color. Can't impulse buy cosmetics this early. Impulse buying cosmetics will leave me without money for items. Oh, God. Yeah, return to the inn for dinner. Ugh. Cosmetics are bait. They're heavy, heavy bait. I actually haven't taken a look at those. Oh, it's voiced.
さすがに野菜とか新鮮で美味しかったね。
ああ、さすがに地のものの料理は違うな。
ライ麦を使ったパンもなかなかの美味だった。こんな楽しみがあるなら特別実習も悪くないけど、今頃 B 班のエマたちはどうしてるのかしら。
そうだな。こんな風に一緒にテーブルを囲んではいなさそうだけど。
You don't say, Rean. You don't say.
そうだね。本当、僕たち7組ってなんで集められたんだろうね。どうもアークスの適性だけが理由じゃない気がするんだけど。
Yeah, I doubt that's the only reason you guys have been brought together either.
それは間違いあるまい。それだけならば今日のような実習内容にはならぬだろうしな。どうやら私たちにいろいろな経験をさせようとしてるみたいだけど。
Yeah, she wants you all to see the country.
どんな真意があるのかまでは現時点ではまだわからないわね。
そうだな。
Yeah.
あんまり深く考えずにやってみたら。
She just go with the flow.
どうやら何かを見つけようと少し焦ってるみたいだけど、まずは飛び込んでみないと立ち位置も見出せないわよ。
士官学院を志望した理由が同じというわけでもないだろうし。
士官学院へのその発想はなかったわね。私の場合は単純だ。目標としている人物に近づくためといったところか。目標としてる人物それが誰かはこの場では控えておこう。
Daddy.
アリサの方はどうだ。
Why did Alicia enroll?
そうね、いろいろあるんだけど自立したかったからかな。ちょっと実家とうまくいってないのもあるし。
そうなのか。
その意味では僕は少数派なのかな。もともと士官学院とは全然違う進路を希望してたんだよね。
Yeah, you wanted to be a musician.
あら、そうなの？
確か音楽系の進路だったか？
Yeah.
まあそこまで本気じゃなかったけど。
Okay.
リーンはどうなの？そういえば今まで聞いたことなかったけど。
俺は自分を見つけるためかもしれない。
You're hiding something.
え？
Stop hiding something. Read.
いや、別に大層な話じゃないんだ。あえて言葉にするならそんな感じというか。
Read.
いいじゃない、かっこよくて。
Going on a journey of
自分を
self-discovery.
見つけるか。あなたがそんなロマンチストだったなんてちょっと意外だったわね。
Wow.
変なことを口走ったな。
So you want me to wake you up at 6 tomorrow, right? Only have until tomorrow evening. Need to get an early start. Appreciate it. Have a good night, kiddies.
あとは今日一日のレポートがあるのか。このままベッドに倒れ込みたいけど、そういうわけにもいかないわね。
Yeah, that ain't happening. She seems to have forgotten about the room situation. I'm not gonna remind her.
リン。
Oh?
どうしたんだ？
迷いもあったが、やはり聞いておこう。
Yeah.
そなた、どうして本気を出さない？
Laura's picked up on it.
そして立ち筋、八葉一刀流に間違いないな。剣戦、ユン・カーファイが起こした東方剣術の集大成とも言うべき流派。
Oh?
開伝に至った者は断りに通ずる達人として剣聖とも呼ばれるという。
So he's... Oh, this is Cassius's style. Okay.
詳しいんだな。帝国ではほとんど知られていない流派のはずなんだけど。
我がアルゼード流は古流ながら他の流派の研究も欠かしておらぬ。
Okay.
それに父に言われていたのだ。そなたが剣の道を志すならば、いずれ八葉の者と出会うだろうと。
光の継承が光栄というか恐れ多いというか。
Dang.
俺はただの書伝止まりさ。
You're hiding things again, Rean.
確かに一時期ユン老師に指示していたこともある。だが剣の道に限界を感じて老師から修行を打ち切られた身だ。だから別に手を抜いてるわけじゃないんだ。八葉の名を汚しているのは重々わかっているけど、これが俺の限界だ。誤解させたのならすまない。
You're hiding something.
ラウラ？
Rean!
そなた自身の問題だ。私に謝る必要はない。いい稽古相手が見つかったと思ったのだがな。
あ、
少し外で素振りをしてくる。悪いが先にアリサたちとレポートをまとめていてくれ。
Oh my god. Rean, what are you hiding? Oh.
いろいろあるみたいね。
Yes, yes there is.
何か抱えているような顔はたまにしていたけど。アリサも気づいてたんだ。
I hope so, man. I hope so. Noticed it too,
な
huh?
んだかんだ言って結構気にしてたみたいだね。
Well, she likes him.
それは謝るチャンスを伺ってて、
Best time to
別
apologize.
に意識してたとかそういうのじゃないんだからね。
Soon. Listen, you soon. Rean.
でも何かを抱えてるのは誰だって同じなんじゃないかな。君だってそうじゃないの？
Yeah.
それは確かにそうね。
Big soon.
おっと、ランクアップしたわね。
B6.
ご褒美をあげなきゃね。
Received information.
この調子で頑張りなさい。
Okay. What's the information quartz? Okay, April 25th. Let's see. Task for the day. Manager left them with me. Alright. Let's see. Day 2 assigned a monster and a wallet. Okay. Ooh! Thank you for the bits, good sir! Much appreciated. Large ferocious monster has been sighted on the west side of the highway. We'd be happier if somebody took it out. I found a wallet on the floor in front of my stall. Somebody willing to find it. So they're both optionals? Huh? Even fewer than yesterday. Give us less work because we were going back to Trista. Sounds about right. Leaves around 9. You need to get those done quickly. Yeah, let's get started. Sounds good. Yeah, they're all optionals. Wanted to apologize for what I said to you yesterday evening. Reed? Told you then, this matter you must come to terms with on your own is not something which an apology is required. That's not really what I mean. Wanted to apologize for making light of the way of the sword. Oh? What I said about being a dropout who's never been able to progress past the beginner level was disrespectful. The master confined to the school I followed to the path of the sword itself. For those reasons, I feel it was inappropriate of me to say what I said, so I'm sorry. Aww. If that's the case, there's one other person you should be apologizing to as well. Can't pretend to know much about your personal circumstances, but regardless of one's background or social standing, one should always be able to live with pride in him or herself. Thus, if you truly did make light of your own abilities, that is an act of shame for which you owe yourself. Oh, damn. Damn. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Do you like the path of the sword? It not really a matter of liking it or disliking it. It's part of life, inseparable part. Aww. That's all I wanted to hear. Oh, her smiling face is cute. Feel exactly the same, Laura. To a friend's gang, eh? Were we not? There was never any rift that I knew about. All handled rather neatly, I felt. You're both so simple-minded. I feel like an idiot spending so much time trying to devise a plan to get you two to make up. What? You did what now? Seemed we caused you undue concern. Pink soon! Oh my god! Looks like the ground dried after the rain, so to speak. Glad to see y'all look a little bit gloomy. Oh. What kind of big trouble? Slow down, Louise. First thing in the morning, you're making such a poised wake to the dead. Wow. Where you been? You're late. Just caught up on the way here. Never mind that. We got big trouble. Something terrible happened over at the market. Again? Something terrible, you say? Terrible things happen. Sounds like it actually took place last night. 2 of the stalls were destroyed and all the... Whoa. Okay. Most terrible indeed. A robbery, oh my. Supposed to mean the market's opening late today, which means we could end up with more customers as people wait here for a resolution. Let's get the place ready. Oh. As for you four, this is our problem, not yours. Just focus on your field study and leave this incident to the locals. You have your own test to worry about after all. Of course. You say leave it to the locals, but we're gonna end up helping. Yep. Come on, guys, let's go help! What should we do? I have to admit, I'm curious. Not so far, might as well go take a look. Alright, slight detour to see what's happening at the market. Well, we gotta go to the market anyway for one of the requests. They're fighting again? Grand Market isn't open for business yet. Oh, it's you from yesterday. Morning. Open late after all, I see. Right, so I guess you already know about the robbery, huh? 2 merchant stalls were destroyed, are still arguing about it. You bastard! You're not gonna get away with this. Oh no, not them. manager came to try to break him up, and it doesn't seem like he's having much luck. Hope no one ends up getting hurt. What should we do? Yeah, maybe we can try talking to him? Considering everything that happened yesterday, you might just be the cavalry we need right now. Would you mind? Not at all. Let's go! God. I love how it's these two whose stalls got destroyed. There, you destroyed my stall, you damn coward. I knew you country folk weren't to be trusted. What else could have been? Just come clean already. What are you talking about? Hand me $1. Wow. You're the one who wanted my spot for yourself. Calm down, please. Playing all innocent, trying to paint me as the bad guy here. You make me sick. What do you say we sell this right here, right now? Bring it on! Hold it! Class 7. You kids again? Keep your nose out of this. I'm gonna make him pay for smashing my stall. Smashing? That... Huh? That doesn't look like a bat, but... Huh, this is awful. Harming one another is not going to bring them back. In the end, they'll still be smashed and you'll still be worse. But this anger isn't going to go away unless I do something. He took all my goods, so I got to do something and get even to sell. What are you talking about? You're the one who stole my goods. You're going to give them all back right now and fix the damage you did to the stall, or else I can't be held responsible for my actions. Isn't good. I don't think they're listening to a word we're saying. What do we do? Stop this at once. Oh. It was the army. The army did it. What? What's the meaning of this? Middle of the morning, stop this nonsense. But believe you're the one in charge here. Demand an explanation of what has transpired. Well, you see. 20 minutes later. Let's see. Solution simple. Men, take them away. Yes, sir. What? What do you mean, take us away? 2 stalls destroyed, 2 sets of goods stolen. Truth is clear as day. 2 merchants in the midst of a heated disagreement committing the same crime at the same time. It's not fair. I think it's premature to draw such a conclusion without any investigation. The provincial army doesn't have time to waste solving petty squabbles of merchants. Not an unreasonable man. Cease your dispute and you'll be left alone. Continue and you come with us. Oh. You're trying to force him to forget this ever happened. Yeah. And good. Sure, you can agree that wasting time on shenanigans like this is detrimental to all parties involved. Hope you'll think twice before causing such a ruckus again. Excuse us, I'm a busy man with more pressing matters to attend to. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the army did it. Because Otto mentioned the tax increase. Army's gonna ignore unless accepted. So, what is the army gonna do? They're gonna force events to make them want to accept the tax increase to get the protection back. There they go. I guess they did stop those 2 from fighting, but not to solve the underlying problem. This isn't right. I see now how the provincial army conducts itself. Sure, you're both still pretty angry, but right now too, you need to keep a level head and try to use that time for something more productive instead. You'll feel a lot better. Yeah. Shouldn't let anger take control of me like that. Can't open the grand market for business until we clean those busted stalls, and we're already running late, so I hate to ask when y'all mind lending a hand. Ah. Assistance from the merchant cleared away the remains of the 2 stalls. With help of Rean the others on top of that, grand market was able to open for business. Yeah. We're helpful. Thanks to you 4, we were able to open the grand market for business a bit quicker than I expected. Can't begin to tell you how grateful I am. Oh, there's no need. Just glad no one got hurt. All the more reason to thank you. A merchant stalls his livelihood. Any action taken against it can throw him into a blind rage, and it's hard to bring someone back from that. The problem facing the merchants in this town are quite grave indeed. The provincial army may have intervened, but it's difficult to believe they'd make no attempts to find an amicable situation. Quite right. clear now than ever that they have no intention of trying to resolve any issues involving the market. I can't see that changing unless we decide to accept the sales tax increase and just keep quiet about it. So you think at least be a little more subtle about the whole thing? There's no way those two are just going to accept this and move on. I don't suppose they will. If word gets out about this, it's not inconceivable for certain groups of people to begin boycotting the market. Something definitely has to be done, and I'm not sure what. Something wrong, Rean? You're awfully quiet. Feeling unwell? I have a favor to ask. Considering allowing us to investigate this morning's incident? Called it! What? Suggesting we attempt to find the perpetrator who destroyed the merchant stalls ourselves? Kind offer, but as I said yesterday, this affair is ours, not yours. You're students, you have your own studies to worry about, and I wouldn't feel right interfering with them. Students training for the military, though, we just can't stand by and allow something so unjust to go unchallenged. Provincial Army's responsibility to address this, sure, but they're shrieking their duties here, and that reflects poorly on us all. True enough, I guess. Really think we're up for something like this? Kinda have to wonder about that too. I mean, in the end of the day, we're just amateurs. Should at least check with Sarah first and see what she thinks. She already told us. Put your heads together and think, and I'm sure you'll see what you need to do. Seems exactly like the sort of thing she meant. At least it does to me. Oh. See your point. Perhaps matters such as this may fall under the scope of the field study after all. Yeah, you do make a good case. Still not sure we're up to it, but I guess it can't hurt to try. Neither seek nor shun the fight. Very well, we'll do what we can. You really sure about this? Certainly not going to say no. I'm very concerned about the market and the safety of our merchants. So if you're 100% sure, I have to admit I truly appreciate anything you can do. We'll do everything in our power to find the answer for you. Just be careful. Don't go seeking out trouble. I don't want you kids being put in danger. Dealing with a criminal who acts under the cover of night, he may be capable of a lot more than thievery and vandalism. I'm responsible for your safety. If anything were happening to you, I couldn't even look Van Dyke in the eye anymore. We'll be careful, we promise. I know I will, at least. Probably need to be more careful than anyone else here. Should act quickly. Let's go! Oh, wait a minute. Could have been the army, or it could have been Blanc. Because that is true, but Blanc did show up for like one scene. First things first, need to decide where to get things started. Logical starting point would be the gray market itself. Can't argue with that. Should probably get statements from the two merchants before anything else. Anticipate they've calmed themselves a bit now, so perhaps we can get something a bit more substantial from them. Still have to ascertain their innocence or guilt in the matter as well. Need to keep a close eye on the time. If we miss the last train, we'll have no way of getting back to the academy today. Let's given lots of other tasks, really like to get them done. In short, need to keep moving. Deadline's 9 p.m. Let's use every last minute we possibly can. Understood? You bet. Right! Well, thankfully, there's no time limit. Okay. Yep. Us can see about the request you sent. This whole thing reeks of either army or phantom thief. Yep. Okay. We're accepting the request. Wait a minute. Lost wallet. Wasn't there something like this back in Sky 1 too? Okay, what was inside it? Mira, lots of Miras, chump and change we're talking about. The other thing was a train ticket to $1. Sounds like the owner's a fairly well-off traveler. There's not much we can do. It's only lead, though. I believe train tickets potentially our best lead. What should we do? This station, yeah. The train leaves at 9. Mentioned the owner's practically searching for it. Might have already been in the station themselves to ask about it. Let's go! Okay, to the station. Yeah, there was an inquiry in the last one. When was the inquiry made? I believe it was made this morning. Young lady came to me in panic, claiming complete loss without her wallet and its contents. From what I can tell, she seems to have been traveling alone, too. Say anything else? Returning to the inn. Ah. How convenient. Alright. Go to the inn. Something matter? I'd like to ask. Oh, you're looking for Annabelle. Bad timing. She just left. Hey, we have a name now? Yeah. Rest area in the Grand Market. Okay. Okay. Holy lag, Batman. Oh. Over here. Okay, you wouldn't happen to know if a young lady came searching for her wallet. She was here a few moments ago, but she's gone. Know where she went. She did mention something about... She's gone to church. Does that help you? There's only one place that could be. She gotta pray her wallet's found. Little does she know, her wallet's been looking for her. Oh yeah. I meant to check. What does information do? Oh. Analyze and obtain data. Okay. Oh, Ditos, have mercy on my poor soul. How am I supposed to go on having lost all my money? Looks like we found her. Tragic care when Act made it kind of obvious. Unfortunately, we'll have to interrupt her. Excuse me. Oh, she's cute. A little. The eyebrows are kind of big. Yeah. Here y'all. Can't turn right around planning to rob me. I no longer have any... We just want to ask you something. You assuming that you're Annabelle? I am. Yeah, I thought so. You wouldn't happen to recognize this, would you? Showed Annabelle the wallet. It's my wallet. Where'd you find it? Well, you see... Oh, thank you. Express here, a merchant from the Grand Market kept it safe for me. Kindness remains within people's hearts after all, it would seem. Looks that way. Very grateful you found it for me. Any particular amount that you'd like in return? You can take... Hat? Wow. Oh? Okay. Oh, an accessory. I would have preferred money, but... Aww. If she would have given us money, we could have gotten that black armor frame for the ornament case. But I guess I'll have to go grinding for that. Can't take it now. Yeah. Okay. The West Highway Monster. Okay, so instead of going to the east, we're going to the west. Wait. I want to go do my side quests. Not gonna let me do my side quests. Sad. Sad. No side quests. To think I was ecstatic finally be able to participate in the famous sold at Grand Market. What I ever do to deserve this? Excuse me. You. Sorry, and y'all see me acting like that. I hope you can forgive me for my inappropriate behavior. Seems really down. Quite understandable. He's a merchant in a busy market, unable to do business. What brings you here? You need something? Well, actually... Rean explained he and his classmates were investigating the truth behind what happened. You're Investigating? That's right. We'd appreciate it if you can answer a few questions. You may be able to help us find the culprit. Well, it can't hurt. It's better than doing nothing, at least. You don't have to sound so pessimistic. Well, can you blame me? You're students in a military academy. You're not exactly ace detectives. This is true, but we're still determining who trying to find out who did this. May be able to recover your goods. Cooperating with us could prove quite fruitful. Okay, fine. I never said I wouldn't help you, did I? Not sure what I'm supposed to say, though. It's not like I saw anything worth mentioning. You didn't? As soon as I made sure my stall was ready to open the next morning, I left everything set up and went home. The other merchants around here can vouch for that. Guess I shouldn't have left the stall unattended, though. By the time I got in, it was too late. The deed had been done. So by morning, the stall had been destroyed. Come to think of it, what goods were stolen? A couple samples with me, actually. Accessories? A brand that's popular in the capital. Okay, been a real hit lately. Yeah, I was hoping to bring fad here by selling them at the market. Only one I have. Aww. Just how much money I lost in one single night. Damn coward. Too early to be jumping to conclusions. You have any evidence that proves his culpability? Nobody's clear. Wow. His stuff was stolen too, dude. Ay, ay, ay. Try to stay calm. You know if you cause any more trouble, the army will arrest you, right? Yeah, it's just a matter of justice. Justice? Okay. Okay, bud. Oh my god, guys. He's claiming it's justice. I'm begging you, get my goods back. Can't promise success, but we'll do everything we can. That's everything this merchant knows. So he knows nothing except that his accessories were stolen. And it was all done by morning. What the hell am I supposed to do now? Sorry to bother you. Could we have a moment? I'm the kid from the military academy, right? What do you want from me? I got nothing to sell you, obviously. Even if I did have something to sell, I got no place to sell it. I'm basically ruined. On top of it all, the Provincial Army and the other damn merchant are acting like I'm the one who did it. Well, he's not taking this very well, is he? Hard to blame him. Might need to see if he knows anything about might help us. Well, you see. Yeah. We're investigating. You're investigating the mess? Okay. Would you consider cooperating with us? Why not? Not getting my hopes up, understand, but hell, I got nothing left to lose. Not exactly a vote of confidence. He's willing to cooperate. I say we cut him some slack and hear him out. So about last night. Don't know how much it'll help. Or don't know how much help I can be if that's what you're asking about here. I left after arguing with the merchant. I didn't come back till this morning. What? Just got pissed drunk and ranted at him all night. Oh. And you're certain of this? Positive. Ask a friend. If you don't believe me, he'll back me up. Wandered over here with an awful hangover this morning and gave me hell of a start. Whole stall's in shambles. Weren't bad enough, all the food. Okay. So food and accessories. Raw processed food. Nuts, cheese, bacon, all food to have a long shelf life made with the local ingredients. Seeing all stuff gone really sobered me up. It was like I hadn't been drinking at all. Yeah! That can do it. And that's when I went over to that fool's stall to pay him a visit. Why'd you go straight to him? Because he's the one who did it. Smashed my stall to bits so he could have the spot for himself. But that doesn't make any sense. If Hines did it, why was his stall destroyed too? Must have done it to himself. Probably figured if he destroyed his own stall, no one believed he could be responsible. I don't know. Seems pretty excessive. Understand your frustration. Baseless accusations do no one any favors and could only cloud the true issue. It's so frustrating. Lost so much money because of this, I might have to shut up shop for good. That is bad. At least get some of my goods back. I could salvage enough to stay afloat, but what are the odds of that? None of the other merchants saw anything, and the provincial army ain't gonna do anything to help. Pure and simple, all the hard work been getting this far has been dreams for me. Not sure how much we'll actually be able to help you. Cheer up. Ain't gonna get my hopes up. Good luck, though. Okay. That's all the two victims of this crime have to say, it seems. What does everybody think? Can't be sure, but really don't think either of them's responsible. Both merchants certainly have adequate motives to damage the other's stall, but the chance in committing the same crime on the same night without crossing paths is virtually nil. It's not impossible, but it's not plausible either. Don't believe that's what happened. Both of them have alibis confirming they were somewhere else when the crime took place. Can't see either of these merchants being responsible for what happened. We're gonna have to look elsewhere. I mean, where could it be? The farm on the highway? It's impossible to say right now. We don't have any solid leads, plus the culprit. Yeah. Who was it? The market itself seems unlikely to produce any further clues. Yeah, gotta focus the attention elsewhere. Actually, one thing that's bugging me. One group of people involved in the whole situation whose actions don't make any sense. The army! Yeah? Whom do you mean? Talking about? Provincial army. Yep. Begs the question, why not? Yup. Yeah. It really doesn't. Methods were atrocious. One minute they're refusing to do anything, the next minute they take a stand. Yup. Something's up. Got no other leads. Well, let's go take a look around the guardhouse. Yeah? Maybe worth an attempt. Guardhouse isn't too far. Let's go over and see what we can find. Awesome. I got the question right. Okay. I should probably go take care of the Western monster first. Because taking care of the Western monster... Dang it! Sad. Aren't you the students from the military academy? What are you doing here? Terribly sorry to trouble you. We're hoping you might be able to help us with something. Could we ask you a few questions about the incident that occurred this morning? What? What's that have to do with you? Visiting town on field study and very much appreciate the chance to see experienced soldiers. Okay. Yeah, perfect opportunity for an acetyl case study? Oh, yeah? Oh my god, that is the perfect cover. Laura's got the perfect cover stories. Yeah. Looks like I might be able to hear what I have to say after all. Nicely done. You can make good use of positions. No one can fault a student for wanting to learn. Oh my god, that's right. We wanted to learn. Best thing ever. Now comes the hard part. This makes me nervous. Let's just wait and see what we can get out of them. Remember, it's not always what they say that matters, it's how they say it. And what they don't say. Huh. True. hope you appreciate us taking time out of our busy schedules for this. What do you want? Making quick. I'm a busy man, you know. He's not even trying to keep appearance. Unbelievable. Be brief. We came to discuss the incident in the market this morning. Be correct in assuming that the army will be conducting further. Oh, sorry about the random mutes, but oh my god. Oh, that's great. Should the armed forces charged with maintaining peace in the region not be taking this matter more seriously? Laura, I'm not sure. You got a big mouth for someone your age. It seems you have a lot to learn about how military units actually work. What do you mean? Let me ask you this. What should the #1 priority of the army be in order to maintain the status quo? I'll tell you. Enforce the will of their region's ruling lord, Albera. As members of the army, the will of nobility is absolute. We're just following our orders, protecting what we have a duty to protect. Assume you're referring to the local petition against the sales tax increase. So what you're saying, as long as the petition isn't withdrawn, the grand market isn't something you have to protect. Interpret my words however you want. We're soldiers, we follow orders. That's how the military works. We don't need some fresh-faced military academy inductees telling us how to do our jobs. Wow. Does he have a tiny shred of shame? I was hoping we'd be able to get something out of him, but doesn't seem too likely anymore. So is that it then? I'll just spin lightning now if you'll have to excuse me. Oh, wait. Mind answering just one more question? Elliot? Fine, ask it. Well, you have any idea what might have happened to the goods Marco was handling? You know, the accessory merchant, all he had left was one sample. What are you talking about? The merchant from the capital, Hines, was the one who was planning on selling accessories. What? What did you just say? What are y'all looking at me like that for? How do you know that? I was under the impression you hadn't investigated the matter at all. How peculiar. We only discovered what each of the merchants was intending to sell a short while ago. Oh, busted! We have our own ways of finding things out. You should not well underestimate us. Waste enough time answering questions. We're leaving. Busted. Elliot got him. Oh. You think the fact that they knew what each of the merchants was selling mean they did investigate the matter after all? Burglary happened last night was only first discovered this morning. Realistically, I don't think there was any opportunity during that for them to do any digging, not without running into us. I suspect they knew what each merchant was planning to sell well in advance of yesterday's incident, though it would be easy for information for them to learn since Duke Albera must have issued permits for both stalls. The army would have no trouble gaining access to transaction records for something like this, but why would they bother? Maybe they needed to know so they could prepare. Prepare for what? I get the impression the incident at the market has been carefully planned out for a while now. I don't think those two merchants being given permits for the same spot was a coincidence either. Probably done to get them to start fighting so they could be robbed while there was tension between them. Basically, create a situation that couldn't be brought under control without the army's help. Yep. Perfectly fit what happened this morning. The army has shown no interest in activity working towards a solution, unless the market manager chooses to withdraw his petition. So they waited for things to get out of hand, then show up to force both parties. Yep, the army did it. Merchants would get worn down and they feel like they have no choice but to withdraw the petition. Even shadier than I thought. Thanks to Elliot, we finally uncovered the truth of the matter. It's indeed some very quick thinking you displayed, Elliot. Make a fine military strategist. I just got lucky, that's all. So wait, no, now is the army's involved with the actual perpetrators. The only way to solve it once and for all, though, seems to be, well, to find them and catch them. It's carried out by members of the army, that's not going to be an easy task. Now, I don't think anyone from the army was directly involved. The soldiers here are far too proud to dirty their hands. They hired bandits. I doubt they're still here in Seldig. To the highway? such a huge volume of goods without them being found. Escape by train? No, that can't be. Boarding a train with that amount of merchandise would raise suspicion. Less than a day, they can't have gotten far. Ask around the main road, see if anyone saw anything out of the ordinary. Yup. Sounds like a wise course of action. Let's resume our search. We can't let the coward run free. One dream of it. Yeah, sorry for leaving the thing on the Laura dialogue right there for a minute. Brother walked in. One of them's been on hold for a good hour, and the hold music they've been listening to is Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. And they don't get why it's funny. Didn't notice anything suspicious? Don't think so. Ah, right there. What? Huh? Why is that kid's forehead so red? Lulu, you okay? Look what that nasty man did to her. Is something the matter? He's just chasing after Lulu near the west exit in town. The weird man is asleep along the side of the street. A weird man? Asleep in the middle of a bustling town like this? Obviously, due to its danger, suggests he possessed formidable skill. Or he was just really drunk. The nasty smell coming off him nearly made little Lulu faint. That's terrible. It really was. I don't know who he is, but I'll have to keep an eye on Lulu to make sure she keeps distance from him. So he's not from town then? I only started seeing him around a few days ago. I've never seen him before. This sounds like a lead if I ever heard one. He was drinking in the middle of the day and he is since Sarah. At least we know he's not a merchant at the very least. We should go talk to him. Let's have a look around the west exit and see if we can track him down. Can we leave town yet? Bring me another drink. Oh, this guy reeks. How much has he put down? It's only midday and he's completely blitzed. Don't think this is the man we're looking for. Think he'd have trouble pulling off another robbery. Sir, we can help you back home if you'd like. Shut up. Leave me alone. I was just a good for nothing who just lost his job. Looking after that nature park was my whole... The nature park. Oh. Oh. My god, I've been hunting Kelby for half an hour for a 45% drop rate. Oof, goes there. Oof. Wonder if he's talking about Lunaria Nature Park we saw yesterday. Oh, you kids know it? You see, I used to be a park ranger for that old place. And then you lost your job. Yeah, out of nowhere too. I gave my life to that job and then he just came and took it all from me. That damn official just showed up out of nowhere and told me I was sacked. You can't just take a man's livelihood off him like that. It's not fair. That job was my life. Yeah, we can see that. Something about this doesn't sound right. It's hardly fair to take a man's job away from him without good reason. Right? I'm glad somebody understands how I feel. There's no way a bunch of kids like that are gonna do a better job of me. Kids? Drinking here last night. See a bunch of kids in ranger uniforms when walking down town through the west exit. They were carrying... Kids. Huh. Kids these days. You don't think they could have been... I wouldn't have even considered it, but given its size, no doubt perfect hiding spot. I'd have no trouble stashing merchandise there undetected. The men standing entrance at the park yesterday were there as lookouts. And if the army was the one to tell me it was a fire, that's practically a smoking gun. Did I say something useful or something? I don't know what I said, but if I help you out, why not buy me a drink? Yeah, that... Sober up. Sober up, good sir. Getting your park and your job back. We know our next stop. As soon as we're fully prepared, let's head out to the nature park. Indeed. Indeed. Probably at a loss for words. A bunch of kids are like, yeah, you're gonna be getting your job back. Oh god. Gotta make it past the mosquito. Yes! Zoom! Zoom! Beautiful. Wait. Hold on. Details, West Seldick Highway. The stone bridge leading to Hemi-Dollar on the West Seldick Highway. The stone bridge. Ah, yeah. There it is. Boop. Gotta get that Master Quartz XP. And try to work on the achievements. Because I did notice each Master Quartz, the arts on them get progressively better as the quartz levels. Oh, you actually proc something. Nice. Okay. Huh. Triple advantage. Beautiful. Okay. Master Quartz. Let's see. Wait. All he has is Autumn Leaf Cutter. LOL. Rean's the only S-rank attacker? Herb. Motivate. Sounding beat. Flamebird. Wow. It actually... You're weak to fire and earth? But you're a bird! Okay. Wait. Autumn Leaf Cutter. Probably would have been better to have them casting arts. Now that I think about it. Yeah. More link attacks. Rean didn't proc. Alright. Heat Wave. Alright. Firebolt. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Heat Wave looks pretty. Okay. Okay. Was the wall door 20? It died to debuffs. Okay. Okay. Oh, cannon reached level 2. Nice. Yeah, buddy. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, 100 of each. I'm guessing I just go back to auto to report? Yeah, I gotta go back to auto. Okay. Let's go report this now, and then we head for the nature park. Well, and then we head for the Orbital Factory to see if we can make anything. Be it quartz or... I don't know. Taking care of the monster. Yeah. You materials. Ooh. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wait a minute. I might actually be able to get Elliot his new weapon. Hold on. Hold on. Odd veins. Yeah. Okay. Shop by 940. Customize weapon, customize. Yep. Let's get the variable cane. Custer. No. Modify, exchange, cover. It's 20k! Sad. Oh well. Oh well. Could open her next slot. Could open his... one of his next slots. I should probably open Laura's slots. Give her shield 2. And a blank slot. Breath. Wait a minute. Get more arts defense. Why does Laura feel like she's gonna be my Agate of this arc of games? Like, seriously, Greatsword characters, I've got a strange attachment to them. EP plus 50. Seal? Yeah. Let's go with this. Wait. I forgot to check what quartz I could make real quick. See if I can make another strength 1. Modify exchange quartz. I can't. I'll take an attack 1. Airstrike, Spark Arrow, Evade 1. Luminous Ray. Just a habit. Got what I need, I think. Okay, attack 1, attack 1. Why did I make another attack 1? Arts defense 20. Oh, that is a blue slot. Give her evade 1. Give her shield 2. Yeah! Okay. I should... Yeah, quick visit to the inn. And then we're good for the nature park. Yeah. Okay. Alright. I do hope everybody's having a fantastic day so far. That is the one thing I miss about Sky. If there was somebody in front of the NPC, you could still talk to them. Oh. Okay. To the west. West side. Let's go. We're going to the west. I might do more Monster Hunter this weekend too. I don't know. I do know that I do need to grind out the rest of my high rank gear. So that would be so beneficial. Wait, what app is this? Update postponed. What? Huh. Okay. Ah! Bird!
戦闘開始。任せてちょうだい。チャンスよ。続けていくよ。行くぞ。行くぞ。我が剣に。
Okay. Okay. That was nice. Ooh. Yeah, the Izuchi set, the crit eye on it. Oh, it is beautiful. Triple advantage. Took me a while to farm all the parts. Yeah! Honestly, I think next time I boot up Rise, I'm probably gonna rush my village quests to where I have village high rank. Please don't tell me this was a rest point. No, it wasn't. Okay. The one thing I do want to see about getting my hands... Oh, wait, the Rise amiibos came out today. Yeah. I wonder, does Me GameStop have a Magnamalo amiibo? Hold on. I need to check something. I've switched from Void and Dual Blades. Yes! Oh my god, the damage on them. Which stance are you using? Feral or natural? I wish I had remembered the Rise amiibos came out today. The Magnamalo amiibo is sold out. Ooh, Feral. Nice. Nice. Doesn't seem like anybody's here. Wonder what happened to those bossy guys who were here before. If they're really the culprits, maybe they ran away already? The woodland's too dense to reliably intuit whether anyone awaits inside. Yeah. What's this? Oh, it's one of the accessories. Bracelet. How'd a bracelet come to be in such a place as this? Just as I thought. Bracelet, same design on the one the merchant from the capital was planning on selling. Really? You sure? Positive. No doubt in my mind, designed by the same person. Can you give me a second opinion on that, Laura? Hardly qualified to weigh my opinion on trends, but there do seem to be a number of similarities between this bracelet and the merchant's goods. So the fact that it's here means, yep. Extremely likely the culprit we're looking for inside this park. Blue? Damn! Sure seems that way to me. Is she about to cut the gate? Only opens from the inside, suppose leaves us little choice. You gonna destroy it? Will you be able to? Lock seems quite solid, sword should be strong enough to... Wait. I'll do it. I can get it done more quietly. Oh? Really? What are you gonna do? Just jump the gate! Eight Leaps, One Blade School, 4th Form, Autumn Leaf Cutter. Oh yeah. Huh? Seriously? You cut it right in two! I did, thankfully. Spectacular. Honor bearing witness to one of the skills of the Eight Leaf School. Still more than less than beginner. Anyway, we don't have much time left. Let's head inside and see if we can find him. Right. Need to find him before the sun starts to set. Looks like we can still make it. Excellent. Come on. Make haste. The one thing about dual blade playstyle, though, that I didn't like, they're essentially glass cannons. I did play with them in World, mainly for Nergigante shenanigans. After that, didn't really do much with them. What? Little stone monuments. Hmm? Mushrooms. Screw it. Can I get all 5? No, at most I can only get 3. Yeah, I can get her CP back quickly with Alicia's skill. Okay. Crafts. Autumn Leaf Cutter. Craft. Now we Bless Arrow. And her CP's already at 52. Yeah. Dang. Look at that. Look at that. Huh? Pepe set. Is that a Pepe set? I can't tell without actually Windows keying out of the application. I do wish this game had borderless window. Holy! That thing has a big horn! What? That's not a horn! Holy! Rhino beetles? Hoi! Come on, Ellie. Yeah, buddy. And heat wave did the rest. Beautiful. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Curia bomb. Okay. What's in the chest back here, I wonder? That's another mushroom. Oh, I have to attack it from the back the second. Okay. Miss. Let's do a resounding beat. Right now we are going through the forest trying to get the stuff back. Showing me your sword skills, I got a long way to go. Oh, I'll take Septith. I will happily take more Septith. So are the DLC outfits for this mainly just the casual outfits? This is... Alicia's is tempting. Double kill, double team. Yeah, level 12. Let's go. Let's go. Awesome. Awesome. Alright. Let's see. Wait. Oh, the girls are about to hit 12 too. Why does that monkey have a big ass? Crap. I tried. And now we do a radiant dance. Crafts. Wait. Ah! That was a waste of 40. Triple kill, Scouter. Oh, Laura's Quartz is about the level. Nice. Okay. Okay. We need to use a bomb. Oh, I missed a chest. Okay. Oh, let's see. Oh, it's only one mushroom. Perfect. Wait a minute. What? Okay. Oh, it wasn't letting me open it due to the active voice. At least I think that was the active voice. Okay. We save. There's 4 boxes. Alright.
せい
小川か。少しほっとするわね。チャンスだね。みんなで。僕の番だね。行くぞ。
行くぞ
And she's got her S break back.
任せるがよ。
参る
私のチャンスよ。続けていくよ。
Well. Nice. Tear bomb.
たせいさあかかってこい
Wait.
みんな。
Go through resounding beat.
俺の番だな
Autumn leaf.
そなたに感謝。任せるがよい。
Okay. Autumn leaf.
行くぞ。
Yeah. Go, Rean, go.
続けていくよ。
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
八王の力。
Rean doing some big old damage now. Another box. If there's one thing Zelda taught me, it's if you can avoid missing boxes, avoid missing boxes. An airstrike.
はせいはせいたたさあかかっ参る
I tried.
私の
I tried to get the triple advantage on that,
甘い
but I failed.
参る今だ
Okay, slash.
行くぞ。
Come on.
今だよ。
Okay. Okay.
チャンスだ
Come on.
付き合い
Yeah.
見せてもらうぞ。
まだまだ未熟だけどね
Angel level 2. What's she getting? What's she getting? Fortuna. Recover 10%. Okay. Alright. She got Forte. Hmm.
この辺りに人の気配はないようだ。
Ah! Do it exactly like that, but you gradually walk around them to... Okay, so it has to be from behind. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. Fire... A warmer?
強そうね。注意しないと。
Why is it a monkey?
たたは手強いぞ気を行くぞ
Close, but no potato.
さてと。
Craps.
任せてちょうだい。
Yeah! Tactical turbo! Indeed! Oh! Also need to hit him from behind. Alright. Alright. Move down. Oh God! Rean! Rean got abused by monkeys.
アークス駆動。任せてちょうだい。行くわよ。
Come on, Laura. Stand up.
そなたに感謝を。甘く見ないで。甘く見ないで。行くぞ。
Yeah. Monkey's gotta die.
かけて。悪は許さぬ。
Sorry, Rean. No XP for you there, bud. Those monkeys suck. Oh, thankfully it's... Oh my god, you're right. I didn't even notice it healed for 1k. Oh, so much better. Oh, that could be why the price was raised. Makes sense now. I was sitting here going like, why is it so much more expensive? Oh, it revives you with more HP. A battle scope, wind septif. Oh, a celestial bomb. Okay. Huh. Everybody's almost 13. Oh, they caught up to him. Nice. Okay. Huh. Nature Park 3.
どこまで続いてるのかな。かなり進んだはずだ。あと一息だろ。
Oh, thankfully there's some more monsters here. And thankfully Alicia has CP. She is going to be spamming Blessed Arrow.
この程度恐れるに足らぬ。私の番ね。そなたに感謝。さてと。私の番だな。参る。さてと。
Okay, those two are still linked. I don't have enough CP for Blessed Arrow. Now I do. Okay. Oh, this box is different. Why? Why are there two monkeys? Is that a panda? That's a panda. What? Why is a panda wanting to beat my ass with a spatula? Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's go with an autumn leaf.
任せてちょうだい。そなたに感謝。ありがとう。任せるがよい。
Okay, those two are now linked. Get rid of the monkeys. Oh. And now watch, the panda's just gonna... Holy... Okay! That panda ain't taking no for an answer. That is one hard-ass stick. Rean just got sat on. Everybody needs their CP up. Indeed. Indeed.
任せるがよい。せい。
Okay. Wow, he's just taking another sitting. Okay.
みんな怪我はない？
Rean was just sitting there confused a good chunk of the battle. But okay. Oh, a free heat wave. Huh. Yo. Arts defense 10. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm guessing the one with all the arrows might... Wait, is that a heal point? Or...
戦闘開始。頑張らないと。僕の番。行くぞ。行くぞ。
That'd be great if that was a heal point, but I doubt it is. Blessed arrow. The main one who needs CP is Laura. Because Laura, my guaranteed breaker. Yeah. Oh, she hit 13 now too. Nice. Nice. Reviving bomb. How many monsters are right here? Oh, that's a lot of mushrooms. Mushroom. Okay. That's one. Come on. Yeah. Okay, she hit 13. Perfect. Another panda? Oh no. Oh no, we're gonna get sit on again. Oh no. Oh yeah, there's no monkeys to back it up, so the panda isn't a threat. Beautiful. Okay. Dang it. Failed right there. Okay. We go right there. And there we go. I did try. Whoops. I was too close right there. Uh-oh. Item would probably be best. Snipe that panda. Damn, my septith amounts. A golden sphere. Huh. Okay. Let's get rid of that panda. Perfect. Okay.
回復装置があるわ。
ああ、どうやら終点みたいだ。
So happy I didn't heal. Yes. That is a heal point. Absolutely beautiful. But I could actually go back and take care of the monkey. I could. Maybe. Let's see. What does Golden Spear do? An area spell with blind. EP cut 1. Accuracy plus 50. Huh. Let's go ahead and make a defense 1. Athelis. After that, a light slot. Huh. Okay. Guess you're getting Golden Spear. Oh! Okay. So there's a chance for the quartz to have stat bonuses on them. Nifty. I believe you already have Thelis. So I'll give Thelis to Laura. Okay, we rest again. To the depths. There they are. Not bad for a night's work. If those idiots don't withdraw that petition, we'll be able to make even more. Don't get carried away now. We'll get a reward for all this. We're just making out fine as is. Still, who were those guys? Provincial army seemed happy to get them out of the way. No idea, but I can say for sure we'll never figure out what that man is thinking. None of our business either. We just need to be ready to abandon this place at a moment's notice. What? Who's there? You're the students from yesterday. I know I locked the gate. Don't tell me you broke in.
その通りだ。それもどうやら大市で盗んだものみたいだし。この場合、現行犯逮捕が認められる状況なのかしら?
Let's take them out. They're just kids. Should be no match for it. Since we're all alone out here, ain't nobody gonna see a thing. Hope you're ready for the beating of your life.
こちらのセリフだな。アークスの戦術リンクをなんとか使いこなせれば。
Yeah.
この程度の練習なら簡単に制圧できるはずよ。
Exactly.
行くぞ。
Let's go.
さあ、始めましょうか。
参る。
As usual, start boss fights with motivate. Do I want to do a Flameberg? No, no.
アークス、駆動。私の番だな。
Good house break right here. Girl up.
我が渾身の一撃。食らうがよい。
I probably should have waited until a later turn when they were all together. Wow. Damn.
僕の番だね。
マイル。
そなたに感謝を。
Let's get some of our CP back.
任せるがよ。さて。
Okay, why do I get the feeling that wasn't the actual boss fight? There's gotta be some kind of joke. They're kids!
口ほどにもない連中だ。
まあ、サラ教官の武術訓練に比べたらね。
それは言えてるかも。
True.
勝負はあった。同行して大一の人たちにきちんと謝罪してもらうぞ。
そちらの盗難品も全て回収させてもらうわ。
それと誰に頼まれたかも話してもらう必要がありそうだね。
Yeah. You must be out of your damn minds if you think you won.
ん？
エリオット？
どうしたの？
うん。なんだか笛のような音が聞こえたような気が。
Uh-oh.
これって。
大型の獣か。
Yep, here it comes. It's coming this way. That's a boss! Roaring Baboon, Granoja. Ah! Ew!
巨大なヒヒ。
Yeah, that's a big ass
こ
baboon.
の自然公園の主といったところか。
Oh, the ruler of the forest.
さすがに彼らを放り出すわけにもいかない。
Yeah?
みんな、なんとか撃退するぞ。
Yeah, that is.
承知。
Hey, this thing might gives an ogre a run for its money in size.
女神様、どうかご加護を。
What?
相手にとって。
Oh god, it's got the monkeys with it.
行くぞ。後期。
スキャリー。
うん。
Oh.
掴んだ。
Wait, Rean has his S break now? Yes!
行くぞ。
Oh. Okay. Okay. Things are slightly better. Okay. Probably shouldn't use his break right away. Okay.
さあ。
Motivate.
私の番ね。
Oh god. No!
ありがとう。僕の番だね。
Resounding beat.
任せてちょうだい。
No. Heat wave. Perfect, they're burned.
さてと。
Okay.
未熟な。
Laura! No!
私の番ね。
そなたに感謝を。さてと。
Stop stunning.
私の番ね。
そなたに感謝を。任せるがよい。うん。
任せてちょうだい。
さてと。
私の番ね。
Okay, they're all together.
私の番ね。
Okay.
未熟な。
参る。
Laura's dead again.
炎よ、我が剣に集え。
Okay. Let's go with Rean. Get rid of the monkey. Get rid of the monkey. Thank you.
そなたに感謝を。
さてと、
みんな。
負けない。
そなたに感謝を。
ありがとう。
俺の番だな。
行くぞ。
僕の番だね。チャンスもらった。
Perfect.
私の
Perfect.
行くぞ。
任せるがよい。
任せてちょうだい。
そなたに感謝を。
ありがとう。
任せるがよい。
Okay. We go with the link. Radiant Dance.
私の番。
Hector. Oh, she's stunned.
行くわよ。
私の番だな。
僕の番だね。
Okay. Okay.
行くぞ。
さてと、
任せるがよい。崩したぞ。
スキャリ。
見切った。そなたに感謝を。
ありがとう。
This.
今だ。
We almost have S breaks back again.
さてと、
Perfect. Laura died a few times, but we
みん
won.
な怪我はない？
Double team, overkill, natural remedy, scatter. Nice. Wow, she didn't hit 14. I'm kind of sad. Oh, an attack
よ
too.
し、やったぞ。
やったね。
悪くない。
That's going on Rean.
とんでもなかったわね。さすがにもうダメかと思った。
だが、なんとか撃退できたようだ。
Thank you for the 20 biddies. Thank you. I'm thinking about playing the next game on hard or nightmare. Like, maybe not nightmare, but maybe hard. Like,
なあ、修行の賜物さ。
and you couldn't pull that out sooner?
今まで実戦ではろくに使えなかったんだが、なんとかコツがつかめたみたいだ。
I don't really feel like I'm getting the hang of it.
やっぱりリーンはすごいな。いつもここぞという時にやってくれるものね。
いや、みんなのおかげさ。今の魔獣にしたって、みんなの力を合わせな
That
けれ
is
ば
true, Rean.
この勝利、俺たち A 班全員の成果だ。
Pizzle.
そうね。
みんなのせい
Yeah.
だ。
Indeed. Unbelievable. What are these kids even doing here? The bastard, this wasn't supposed to happen. Who are you talking about? Huh?
面倒な者たちが駆けつけてきたようだな。
Some unwelcome guests. There they are. They're not alone. Put your hands in the air. Don't try to resist. Why are you surrounding us and not them? Keep your mouth shut. Don't think we're gonna go easy on you because you're students. Looks like all your hard work was for nothing, huh? Sucks to be you. They're not even trying to hide their involvement. Utterly shameless. You're jumping to an awful lot of conclusions. Saw the two groups of people in a collection of stolen goods, but no indication of which group is responsible. Do you have any way to prove the four of you aren't the perpetrators? What? You intend to frame us? This is preposterous. Just trying to tell you that you need to mind your own business and learn your place. Cruising Province is territory of Duke Alvera, and I will not have a gaggle of brattery students poking their noses where they don't belong. You'll back down now, or be more than happy to arrest you right here and drag you back to Bearhot, kicking and screaming. Damn, this is ridiculous. Afraid you'll... Huh? Ah, the actual armed forces. The Railway Military Police. The RMP. Yeah. Oh, who are you? The Icy Maiden? Why does one of the Chancellor's dogs come here? What's the meaning of this? Army's under... this area is under jurisdiction of the Cruisin Provincial Army. The Imperial Army has no right to intervene. Who are you? I've heard your voice before. Suppose not. Men, withdraw. We're returning to Sylvic. Sir? You gotta be kidding me. We had a deal. Yes, ma'am. Icy Maiden. Yeah, we're totally boned. Come with us. Yeah. Oh, great. Great, guys. Damn Iron Blood dog. Right. She's really pretty. She is pretty. She part of the RMP? Hmm? Claire. Okay. Okay. Claire, huh? Yeah. Okay. Claire, you are an absolute cutie. Really grateful for everything you've done today. All the stolen goods have been recovered and those responsible have been found and arrested. Can't possibly express my gratitude. Just glad we were able to help. Besides, it was only thanks to the RMP's involvement we were able to catch the culprits in the end. Oh, there's no need to be so modest. All we did was physically arrest the culprits. The rest was entirely on you. Not for your assistance in stopping the criminals from escaping, we would have missed our chance to intervene altogether. I believe the credit for the achievement is yours and yours alone. All this attention is kind of embarrassing. Still, it's supposed to be rude not to accept your thanks. Indeed, you should all be very proud of what you've accomplished here. So, can we leave everything in your capable hands from here on out, Captain? Of course, I'm intending to leave a number of our soldiers here for the time being. Rest assured, we'll be taking care of any further problems that may arise. We are greatly obliged. Still, while your personal loyalties may differ, both the RMP and Provincial Army made up of Arbonian soldiers, I'd appreciate it if you tried not to stand out too much. Presence may create some anxiety amongst the locals. Be sure to keep that in mind. Thank you for your cooperation with the report. Sorry to take up so much of your time. Not at all. We really appreciate you coming to the aid like that. There's no need to thank me. In fact, the more I think about it, the more I regret having stepped in at all. Overcoming such an impossible situation was probably meant to be part of your field study too. To build character, perhaps. Sarah called in a favor. Sarah called in a favor. Okay.
すがにそこまでは考えてないけどね。
I maybe. Wow.
サラ教官。
やれやれ。ようやくのお出ましか。
Okay. Okay, that line was too perfect timing. Okay.
サラさん、どうもお久しぶりです。
ええ、半年ぶりくらいかしら。
6
そ
months?
れにしても、まさかあんたがここに出張ってくるとはね。
Sure you didn't.
全部お見通しだったってことかしら。
それは買いかぶりですよ。と
Aww.
ある筋からの連絡を受けたのは確かですけれど。
ああ、お宅の兄弟筋ね。随分と抜かりなく立ち回ってらっしゃること。
あくまで状況に対応するために動いているだけですから。
Oh?
それでは皆さん、私たちはこれで失礼します。特化クラス7組、私も応援させていただきま
Push
す
the
ね。
rest all you and the rest of class 7. Okay. Was she really part of the military? She didn't seem it. Movements and actions were those of a skilled officer, highly skilled. And the rest of the railway military police seem really well trained too. You know her? You could say that. Anyway, managed to finish up all the tasks I laid out for you, so I think it's about time to take our leave of this place too. Do take care. Give my regards to Principal Van Dyke. If you're ever in the area again, please do come and say hi to the market. You'll be more than welcome. Awesome! I believe this should be the end of chapter 1. I think. Maybe? She's sleeping already. Oh, this is...
また寝てる。
たぬき寝入りってわけじゃないでしょうね。
No.
呼吸を見るに本当に寝ているようだが。
どうやら B 班の方が散々だったみたいだからな。
Well, she did put Machias and Euseus
そちらを
together.
フォローしつつ、一日でこっちに戻ってきたら。
なるほど。お疲れ様だったみたいね。
いつもひょうひょうとしてるから、そんな風には見えないけど。
一応は我らのことを気にかけてくれているようだな。
Also true.
初めての特別実習。何を目的としているのか、なんとなく分かってきた気がする。
そうね。
You?
やっぱりアークスのテストはあくまで目的の一つ。私たちにいろいろな経験を積ませるのが目的なんでしょうね。
うん。
Yeah?
知識でしか知らなかった帝国各地や住んでいる人たち、それに今回みたいな問題について。
その上で主体的に突発的な状況に対処する、そういった心構えが求められていたような気がする。
Yup.
そして状況を解決できる、そういったものを養わせようとしているのかもしれない。
半分くらいは当たりね。
She wasn't sleeping.
サラ教官。先ほどは完全に寝ている呼吸だったが。
寝起きのスイッチは切り替えがいい風なのよね。
Wow.
君たちの指摘通り、現地の生の情報を知っておくことは軍の士官にとっても非常に有益よ。そしていざ問題が起こった時に命令がなくても動ける判断力と決断力、そうしたものを養わせるために特別実習は計画されているわ。やっぱりそうなんですか。
Huh.
士官学校にしては画期的なカリキュラムというか。それで半分ということは。
Yeah, what's the rest of the story?
あら、どうしたの？
いえ、
Huh?
そういった理念や実習内容を改めて考えると、
Huh.
それってなんだか遊撃士に似ていませんか？
Yeah.
そういえば民間人の保護を第一とする
Yeah.
大陸各地に支部を持つ団体、支えるコテの紋章を掲げる民間の使い手たちか。
最近じゃあまり見かけなくなってるけど、確かにそんな感じだったかも。
バレたか。
Wow. Okay, Sarah.
まで本気なのかしら。
遊撃士か。何か関係はありそうだけど。
Yeah.
いずれそのあたりも明かされる可能性は高そうだ。我らは我らで次の実習に備えておけばいい。
そうだな。
Yeah.
あら、
Gotta prepare.
まだ何か気になることでもあるの？
いや
Maybe.
そうじゃない。入学して
Just
7組に入って考
same
えれば
class for a month.
みんなにはずっと不義理をしていたと思ってさ。
Wait, is he finally gonna reveal something?
不義理？
八王一刀流のことではないようだな。
まあそれとは別に一つ黙っていたことがあるんだ。
What?
俺の身分についてだ。
Oh?
え？
Oh?
もしかしてあなたの家って。
ああ、マキアスの問いにははぐらかす形で答えたけど、俺の身分は一応貴族になる。帝国北部の山岳地ユミル、そこを治めているシュバルツァー男爵家が俺の実家になる。
ユミルの、そうだったの。シュバルツァー、そうか。男爵いながら皇帝家にゆかりのある誇り高き名家だと。
まさかリーンまで貴族の若様だったなんて。
見ての通りそんな玉じゃないさ。
True.
父も母も気さくで堅苦しさからは縁遠いし、
Don't behave
それ
like.
に養子だから貴族の血は引いていないんだ。
Huh. Wait, he was adopted?
あなたもいろいろ事情があるみたいね。
そん
Huh.
な大層な事情じゃないけど、それでもみんなには黙っていられなくなったんだ。共に今回の試練をくぐり抜けた仲間として、これからも同じ時を過ごす7組のメンバーとして。
リ
Huh.
同じ時を過ごす仲間か。まったく生真面目すぎる性格ね。その話、帰
Aw.
ったら他の人にもちゃんと伝えなさいよ。
ああ、そのつもりさ。
Ah, youth. Still, even discounting the strangely perfect timing on the railway military police, the ruler of the forest they ran into in the nature park. The sound of a flute, though, seems to be a harbinger of something big happening behind the scenes. Huh. Wait, what? What? What's going on? Hmm?
やれやれ、あのタイミングでアイスメイデンが現れるとは。少々段取りを狂わされたな。
Huh?
想定の範囲内だ。今後の計画の障害となり得る鉄道憲兵隊と情報局、その連携パターンが見えただけでも大きな成果と言えるだろ
確かに。
え、
それではこのまま計画を進めるとしようか。
Why does the Kamen Rider wannabe look like he's gonna be a big threat?
う。すべてはあの男に無慈悲なる鉄槌を下すために。
The tyrant must face the hammer of
すべ
judgment.
てはあの男の野望を完膚なきまで打ち砕かんために。
May his lofty ambition be crushed. Huh. Okay. Okay. Unconventional studies end.
おっと、ランクアップしたわね。
Oh, B5.
ご褒美をあげなきゃね。
That's right,
こ
sir.
の調子で頑張り
Give
な
me
さい。
a reward.
なかなか悪くないわ。
Okay. Class 7's bond's been strengthened. Yo! Link level 2. Hey! Thing once again, buddy! Ignite Everybody hit level 2? Hell yeah, we're saving. I actually need to take a quick BRB and then we will start chapter 2. I will be back momentarily. Oh, God. Be right back. Alright. Back. Yeah. Just had to take a quick real quick. Let me get a little bit of my snack and then we'll start. Okay. Let's get it rolling. Time skip to May 22nd. Damn. Okay.
5月下旬、ライノの花が完全に散り、新緑香る風がトリスタの街を吹き抜ける季節。
はあ？
特別実習を終えた俺たちは再び忙しい学院生活に追われていた。
The bustle of school life.
武術訓練に加え、高等教育の一般授業も
It is
本格化
so
する中、
smooth on the ears.
士官学院ならではの専門的な授業も始まっていた。
The specialist classes. Huh? Oh, I'm getting hyped now. Okay. Second period military
50年前
science.
の動力革命以降、戦場の常識は根本から変わっていった。
Huh? I know you too. Ninth heart.
変化をもたらした代表的なものは4つある。まずは動力銃。
Huh.
それ以前も火薬式のものはあったが、生産性、命中精度、整備性の面で動力式のものにとって変わられた。2つ目、それと関連する軍の機構化だ。
Organization of the military.
戦車や装甲車に代表される動力車両で構成された機構師団。高い機動力、攻撃力、防御力と3拍子揃ったこの戦術単位はまさに戦場に革命をもたらした。3つ目は飛行船。
Invention of the airships.
気象機関による重力制御によって空をかける艦艇の発明だ。それは空中をも視野に入れた立体的な戦術、戦略を可能にした。そして4つ目、
Huh.
動力技術の進歩によって戦場に大きな革新をもたらした新たな分野が存在する。
Without it. Huh?
リーン・シュバルツァー、それが何であるかわかるか？
The new scientific breakthrough was. Telephone. Orbital communication. Yeah. Countermeasures also been invented, such as wiretapping and jamming, but nonetheless, got it right. Well done. All pretty high level stuff. I mean, I know the basics, but I've never heard it gone into such detail before. Have to work really hard to keep up. AP increased by 1. Yeah. Gender divided lessons, class 1 and class 7 combined. Huh? Why'd Lady Laura have to be placed in a class like that? I was truly looking forward to studying alongside her. Is that girl next to her the one that scored highest on the entrance exam? Believe so, though I hear she's a mere commoner. Something about that silver-haired girl I find oddly soothing. Wonder if she'd let me stroke her hair if I ask nicely? Quite enough idle chatter. Members of Class 1 are above such droll behavior. What? We cannot allow ourselves to be bettered by the rabble, even in something as insignificant as culinary arts. Ah! Yeah! True, true. So accustomed to our... Huh? I find it challenging.
まったく、ひそひそ感じが悪いわね。ああ、我らのことが気になって仕方ないのだろう。
She's putting so much effort into it.
泡立てはそのくらいでいいですよ。
Portable commuter primer. Huh? Feed needs all the head pedos. Wait, he's finally getting the hang of using normal
最初は
computer?
どういうものかまるで見当もつかなかったが
Huh.
エレボニアでも最先端の技術みたいだからね。でもマキアスとユーシスはすぐに操作を覚えたみたいだね。
Dang. Yeah, but economics are their thing, and I'm pretty sure Machias has been interested in computers for a while
ユーシス
too.
は興味がなくても軽々とこなしちゃう感じだよね。そういうところがマキアスにはまた面白くないんだろうけど。
I'll bet. Yeah, they were really butting heads during last month's field
危
study.
うく殴り合いになるところだった
Oh?
なんとか止めたがサラ教官が来なかったら危なかっただろう
どうしたもんだろうね。
Just have them fight it out? Either, but you're right, this has gone on for way too long and it needs to stop. Huh?
え、
Huh?
1組の
Patrick, is it?
ああ、その通りだ。
Oh?
僕のフルネームはパトリック・ T ・ハイアームズ。そういえばさすがに分かってくれるかな。
So you're from the
有名
High
な
Arms
家柄なの
family.
か
有名も有名。まあユーシスの実家よりは格はちょっと落ちるんだけど。
Yeah, the Capel. Maybe the Capel's still doing something? I mean, it is a toaster compared to what they're probably using now, but...
ああ、いえ、なんでもありません。
平民や外国人に用はない。
Didn't come here to talk to foreigners or
シュワルツ
commoners.
ァー、喜びたまえ。
Glad some
僕の
tidings
紹
to
介で
you.
学生会館の3階に招待してあげようじゃないか。
Wait. The third
学
floor?
生会館の3階というと
貴族生徒専用のサロンがあるっていう。
たかが男爵とはいえ、貴族は貴族。
Huh.
7組などといううろんなクラスに所属してしまっている君だが、ハイアームズ家の人間たるこの僕が口を聞いてやったら感謝したまえよ。
やれやれ、こんな場所で勧誘とは。
There's a supercomputer of sorts, though, so it may still be used process. That is true. Or maybe Russell's working on an upgrade? Maybe? Capel Mark II?
ユーシス・アルバレア。
ハイアームズ家の三男殿は派閥ごっこがお好きらしい。そういう話はまず最初に俺に声をかけるのが筋じゃないのか。
君は好きでサロンに来ないだけだろう。あれほど2年の先輩たちが熱心に誘っているにもかかわらず。
興味がないからな。
もういい。シュ
Law.
バルツァー、とにかく考えておきたまえ。誰につくのが君の将来にとってプラスになるのかを。
Can I punch him? I mean, no one wrestled. It has to be an S. True. True. Hell, actually, I wonder what Tita and all of them are doing right now. I know Estelle and Josh are probably out doing shenanigans with Renee at this point. Hopefully. Because End of Sky 2 seemed like they were going to track him down. Or track her down. Why'd I say him? I don't know. Well, he's not. I wasn't sure hadn't turned him down either. Thanks for stepping on. I'm trying to help you.
先月の実習では手間をかけたみたいだからな。それだけだ。
Well? Oh, you came to apologize.
先月の実習ってもしかして
Ah. Sky 3 was kind of okay. So there was some point to Sky 3. Okay. Okay, I will get into that. Just filling the inside stories with the rest of the characters.
なるほど。
Okay.
実家の不始末のようなものか。
So it's stuff that could be filled in if they showed up again. Alright. Alright.
お前たちに改めて詫びたかったのかもしれないな。
It's been looking for a way to apologize.
首相なところもちょっとはあるんだね。
Guess he has a nice side after all. Lol. Okay, homeroom. Still and Josh. I'm hoping we get the Switch ports of the Crossbell games over here, because if the Switch ports come, that means the Steam ports will come. And even if the Steam ports don't come, as long as we get the Switch or the PS4 ports, we'll have them. Tomorrow's a free day, take it easy. Next Wednesday's second practical. Wondering when she bring that up. We'll be announcing details of field study during that. You'll be heading out next weekend. Sure, you can hardly wait. Ugh. For one, I'm very looking forward to it. Oh, and one more thing. Your midterms are scheduled for the middle of next month. What? Midterms? Sounds irritating. So I finally get to pull all the knowledge we've gained through the past few months of the test. Steam port's coming this summer, but Japanese only, so next year we'll have the first Crossbell game and hopefully, I've heard nothing but good things about the Crossbell games. This school can't just be about military strategy, because if it is, I'm gonna have an earful from Vice Principal Heinrich again. Again? Is that all you care about? Can you ask if there's anything we don't understand? Not if you care about the answer being right. I'm a combat instructor. Book smarts like that are well beyond me. Anyway, homeroom Makias, if you please.
Kiritsu!
Time to go meet Toa. To go in the club. You have dinner together. We've been eating in the cafeteria an awful lot lately, so maybe we can go to the cafe and Tristan today for a change of scenery. And just want to meet up in the entrance hall later? Sure! There. Oh! You out for club practice too? No, not today. Something you want to ask? It's nothing. Soon! She wanted to hang out. Did you do something else to upset her? Not that I'm aware of. Although I suppose it's possible I did something wrong without even realizing it, knowing her. I was speaking in jest, I assure you. You planning on going to the old schoolhouse again tomorrow? Yeah, he asked me to keep an eye on it, so I thought I'd make a quick look inside. Let me know when you're playing. Yes! Old schoolhouse takes priority over club. Yeah! Laura's slowly moving up the ranks of best girl. Yeah! In chess club, aren't you, Makias? Plan on studying in the library.
僕が放課後をどう過ごそうが。
Huh? Oh, I just Have I done something to upset you?
別に
He's letting his hatred of
あっ
noble.
さりと騙された僕が間抜けだっただけさ。
Wow. Wow, Machias.
少なくとも高貴な血は流れていない。そういう意味では
言い訳は結構だ。
Fucking wow.
君が貴族であるかどうかは関係ない。だが嘘をつく人間を信用することはできない。ただそれだけのことだ。
He didn't lie though. He hasn't got a noble drop in his feet. Can I punch him? I want to punch him.
ごめんなさい。
いや
Yeah.
気にしないでくれ。
It.
お邪魔しちゃいました。
My entry? Not at all. Need
そ
some?
の机に参考書を忘れてしまったんです。
Oh my god.
ありました。え
What's
え、
up
これ
there?
で
Mathematics for dummies. Except, wait, intermediate? Sunday school curriculum? Seems a bit basic.
フィーちゃんに数学を教えてあげる約束をしていて、町の本屋さんでいい参考書を見つけたので買っていたんです。
Ah.
いけない、フィーちゃんを待たせてるんでした。リンさん、私はこれで。
Okay.
リンさん、
Or, huh?
マキアスさん、リンさんのことを嫌っているわけではないと思います。
No, he just hates all nobles in general.
きっかけさえあれば、リンさんの思いを素直に伝えれば、ちゃんと分かってくれますから。
Yeah. Ay. Just have to keep at it. Everyone believes I can make it work, then I'll believe it too. And she is. Maybe I'll wander around the academy grounds for a while before returning to the dorm. Let's see. I guess going down to floor 1. Wait a minute. I saw a group of... Oh, I have to head to Trista. Why can't I... Oh, is it because of the story event that I can't fast travel? I mean, that would make sense. Did I go back to the dorm? Yeah.
Yo, 後輩く
Oh? Hey! It's Headband! Oh, it's you! Not gonna play along with your Stanton this time, so might as well be on your way.
別に騙し取るつもりじゃなかったんだがな。そうそう。あれ
Figure out how I did it though? Oh. Okay.
別に50ミラくらいすぐ返してもいいんだが、それを答えてからの方が納得できるんじゃねえか?
Had to be a trick to it, some form of sleight of hand, something that wasn't as it seemed. I'd say the crux of the illusion was... Oh, God. The coin was tossed. He never touched the bandana. I'm gonna take a gut. Hey! That guy's right. Pretty sure he had a bag at his feet, which means threw the coin in the air but let it fall instead of trying to catch it. You let it fall right into the open bag lying in wait at your feet, am I right?
答えるのも素早かったし。あ、正解だ。約束通り50ミラはき。
Oh? Is he broke?
悪い。10ミラしか入ってねえわ。
Oh, it's fine.
お、そうか？
こらこら。痛いけな後輩に厚かましくたかろうとするんじゃない。
Wow, what?
と現れやがったな。
It's the she-devil. What? Oh god. Oh, it's the biker. Okay. A bike. It's powered by orbital energy. Wait, I've seen this girl before.
リン君だね。トアとジョルジュから君のことはいろいろと聞いているよ。先月の特別実習でも見事活躍したそうじゃないか。
Oh. Surprised you know my name, actually. I didn't think I've been doing anything worthy of such attention. Guess I should still officially introduce myself. I'm Rean Schwartz. Nice to meet you. Same. Okay, who are you? Who are you? Angelica. Okay.
アンゼリカ。アンゼリカ・ログナーだ。よろしく頼むよ。
Ragnar is in Marquise Ragnar? Head of one of the 4 great houses?
さすがに知っていたかい。その当主である公爵の不肖の娘といったところかな。
Oh, his
まあ、こんな
unworthy
格好で好き
daughter.
勝手させてもらっているから。と、
お前の場合、格好というより風紀上の問題な気もするんだが。しかしゼリカ、こんな時間から遠乗りかよ。
ああ、動力エンジンの強化がやっと終わってくれたからね。テートあたりまでひとっ走りしてくるかな。
Capital and back, see how it holds up?
はい。
君にだけは言われたくないけどね。
Okay. So you do ride it like a bike. Whoa.
それじゃ、いずれ私も依頼を出すから、ぜひ応じてくれると嬉しいな。
She's thinking of putting in a request, huh? Okay.
今のは動力バイクっつってジョルジュが組み上げたものだ。なかなかロック
Orbital
だろ。
bike. It's kind of like a steel horse. Guessing you can't buy those things in any shop?
ルーレ工科大学で試作されていたものをジョルジュが完成させてな。パーツの資金はゼリカが提供して、俺とトワも制作を手伝ったんだぜ。
Can I get your name, Mr. Headband, or am I just gonna have to keep referring to you as Headband? You on good terms with Toa and George? Angelica said she heard all about me from them. Maybe you had a little something to do with that
全員
too?
クラスは違うが、1年の時からの腐れ縁でな。と、そういや言い忘れてたか。
Ah, now I'm getting your name. You do act like a
2年
crow.
5組所属、クローアームブラストだ。
Arm Brust, huh?
よろしくな、リーン後輩。
Class 5. Oh.
そんじゃお先に。
Why do I get the feeling Crow's gonna keep showing up more and more? So his name's Crow, huh? Angelica, the daughter of Marquise Ragnar, Toa, student council president, George, head of the engineering club. Every second year I meet is somebody important. Huh. The Verdant City. Hang out in the dorm. See if I can sort things out with Maki. It's Rean. You free right now? Something like discuss. Starting at the moment, can you save it? Wow, he is being a big ol' bitch about this. Okay. Free at the moment, Eustace? What do you want? Just want to say thanks for this afternoon. Sure you mean the incident with High Arms? Explicitly remember stating I wasn't trying to help you. Maybe so, but I still want to thank you. I'm not really used to handling situations like that. I mean, I'm a noble, but I've never spent much time with other members of nobility. You see us? Seems as though neither one of us is an ordinary noble, but your problems have nothing to do with me. Don't expect my assistance next time. Huh. Neither one of us. Guess he's got some issues of his own. Okay. Indeed. Someone's here. Seems like. Be right back. Something the matter? Just came by for a chat. Hey, what chat? I thought I heard her voice a moment ago. Promised to help her study after we finish dinner. Currently doing some exercises prepared this afternoon. Never expecting to hear that. She's actually a hard worker. Like to join? That's alright. I'd rather not distract you too. Seems like you got hard work, so good luck. Have a good free day. Have a good free day. Aww. Oh, sweet. Alright. Hey there. Like how you got your room set up. Probably because we're both going to immerse in the ways of the sword. Room is more or less same field too. Aw, should have expected much. So you've been practicing your swing tonight too? Whoa, helps dinner settle? Nice. Sword practice usually my go-to for clearing the mind. It's actually an ideal way to wind down the day. Huh. That you were one of those people who never got caught up in stray thoughts. Huh. Even I have brought over things now and then. Notice you've been putting in extra effort into your training. Aww. May we both continue to strive towards improving ourselves. Couldn't have said it better. Laura is very, very much earning me spending the Steam points to get the wallpaper. Like, okay. I bought fees already, but temptations. Say, what's wrong? Oh, hey, Rean. Nothing serious, don't worry. Well, if you insist, but now I'm here, it's really easy to tell that this room is yours. So organized and neat, really fits that high-class image of yours. Don't make fun of me like that. Can't tell if he's clueless or if he's actually caught on. I say something to upset you? No, it's nothing. She's got a giant bunny plushie. Oh my god. Oh, it's cute. Oh. Holy paper mountain, Batman. Okay. Wasn't expecting to see you here. Didn't figure his type to sneak up into a lady's room in the middle of the night. Maybe I had you figured wrong. Wouldn't call this sneaking. Kind of surprised you're actually not drinking. Not that I wouldn't like a drink right now, but to be honest, I got some work I need to finish up before I forget. Oh yeah, I give up. Grab me a beer from the case over there. You ever think there's maybe something not quite right about being a teacher? Or about a teacher bringing her beer into the dorms? Yeah, come on now, beer's the fuel that keeps my fire burning. I'll even let you have a can or two for yourself. It's okay if anyone asks, I have no idea where you got it. You know a guy named Crow? Second year. Oh, and Angelica too. Oh, so you met them already, have you? Pretty sure I got times with them since became instructor, but then again, who hasn't? Oh, so you do know. Or at least I hope you can steer clear of their influence. Wouldn't want you to take any more. Aww. You say that, yet here you are as our homeroom. Oh, that's great. Oh, these two are down here. Tradition. Okay, he's gonna work towards being in the orchestra. Okay. Oh. Should I go on today? Yeah. Oh. Old Schoolhouse Mystery 2. I'll be waiting in the lower class dorms. Klein Year 2, Class 5. Bookstore. Old Schoolhouse request same as last month, so got the key and going whenever ready, so finish up everything else first. Alright, let's get started! Okay, so I can either do a bond with Laura. You know what? I will go have a bond point with old Sarah. And she's still in her room doing paperwork. No, I'm not doing paperwork, huh? Well, if it isn't the Rean Bean Machine, dutifully roaming the campus as always. Feel like I'm wasting my breath pointing this out, but you do know it's the middle of the day, right? You got a problem with me spending my afternoon drinking? It's my room and my beer. I'm not seeing any problems here. Looks like she's already plastered. Knowing her, she's ready to leap into action if anything serious were to come up. This might be a good chance to ask her about some things I normally couldn't. Sure. Hey, don't just stand there like you got nothing to do. You're a student, so come sit here and keep me company. I don't see how that has any relation to being a student. Oh, well, this could be a good chance as any. I'll get myself something to drink. Oh, be a dear and get me something to snack on while you're out, would you? I'm fine. Looks like you're working pretty hard for the student council. That's what I like to see. Building up experience, making memories, exactly what youth's all about. Oh no! Oh no! Controller died! Uh-oh! Uh-oh! I thought I charged the thing! Whoops! I guess I didn't. Or maybe I did? And then again, Bluetooth does drain the battery. Okay, controller's back on. I want to hear it, not from the person who pushed me into it in the first place anyway, especially since I've had a lot on my mind lately regardless, so it's about Machias, huh? Was it that obvious? Well, you don't exactly have a poker face. Figured out any way to make up with him yet? I wish. I've been completely honest with him to begin with, none of this would have happened, so it's my fault, but I remember when I had simple youthful worries. That's one way to brush me off. Well, the way I see it would be to focus on helping the student council today, helping other people with their worries might help you develop as a person and figure out how to take care of your own. Really? Of course, you need to take care of each and every request seriously and not just see them as 8 boxes on the checklist. Listening carefully to what a client says and figuring out what they really want from that is a key part of the job. After all, people tend to not say what's really on their mind. You have to listen to them for it. Hey, what's with that look? I'm just surprised you gave me a helpful on-point reply. Can I ask you what you did before you became an instructor? Well, let's just put it this way. I've had a lot of experience. More than enough to give you youngins helpful advice when you need it. That wouldn't be, or that'd be more credible if you weren't completely drunk. Lucid enough to dodge the question, though. Either way, I'm your homeroom teacher. I'll always be here to help out if you really need me. For now, just focus on what you gotta do. I suppose you're right. Ugh. Allergy. Well, it's not every day she gives good advice. Might as well take it while I can. Sarah took a swig of the beer sitting on the table. Yeah, that's the stuff. Hey, I can take her advice, right? And let's go get a bond point with Emma. So you're working hard as always. Seeing the bookstore pretty often. What brings you here today? While I'm searching for some study material. Helping to find something that'll help you with your classwork. Come across anything good yet? Been struggling to find something that'll make it easy for her to understand. Beyond my honors class president, I'm gonna keep looking until I find something. I do owe her after she cheered me up yesterday. Maybe I can help her out. How about I help you out? You sure? Thanks for the offer. Time to get started. Mind searching over there? Got it. Unsurprisingly, most of the books here are targeted at people with high level of education. Fee isn't quite there, so I need something a bit simpler. Really considering you use so much of your free time to help her, but since it's cutting into your own studies, it's not a big deal, really. I got into the academy on a scholarship, so I want to return the favor by doing all I can to help out other students. Class 7, especially small class, too. So helping each other just seems like the natural thing to do. That kind of thinking is why you're the class president. Nah, you don't need to flatter me. It's not flattery, it's honesty. Well, it's worth. Fee's been paying a lot more attention in class since you two started studying together, too. I've noticed that, too. It's nice to see. Playing teacher how to get excited about learning new things. Definitely be a big step. And that makes me really want to find her the right book. Cool. Oh, what about that book over there? That might work. This one? Reading Emma's hands brush one another as they reach for the book. Sorry about it. Likewise. And thus they managed to find some useful study material. Dang! Okay, welcome. Certainly did. This means you're taking care of it. You said you needed some delivery. Yeah. Don't mind me asking, is there any reason you need someone else to do this? Shamefully enough, yes. I lost the order sheet I received from the academy. So I'm not sure who to deliver each book to. That's why I decided to be best to ask you students instead. I actually hire a part-timer who's a student at Thor's. I didn't plan on asking her first, but she's working somewhere else today, so the student council was my only recourse. Free at the moment, like you can get them delivered as soon as possible. Behind the War of the Lines, history, art, science, the Empire's... You weren't kidding about the weight. Just one per person. 5 deliveries, 5 people. Oh. Okay. There's book delivery. Substitute tutor. Okay, we go over here, we go to the lower class dorms, and then, yeah. Oh God. Did I seriously forget to charge everything? Like, even phone's almost dead on me. I have a problem remembering when to charge things, it seems. Ugh. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, we go over here. Klein, right? If you're asking me, you must be Rean. Schwarzer, class 7. Wanted to fill in for you in the tutoring job, that's right. Something urgent come up, so I won't be able to make it. That's why I took it straight to student council. Don't mind prying. What's so urgent? Oh, yeah. That. Yeah, that. Dude, go. Klein, go. The house you'll be tutoring at straight shot from these dorms by the riverside. Pupil's a boy named Emil, and you'll be speaking to his mother. In terms of how you teach him, I'm leaving that to you, and honestly, if you want to back out, that's fine too. I've already told Melissa, not necessarily locked in. Huh. Are you sure you want me doing this? Well, you're a student here, you got knowledge. Ever helped other people study? Huh. There you have it. Neil's got all the books he needs already, so all you need to do is get through the material together. Today's topic should be orbital science. Huh. Okay. This could be tricky to get right. Oh. Do hope nothing serious happened to his mom. Hopefully, my guessing skills will pay off again, but I will keep that in mind. I will keep that in mind. Today's topic's orbital science. You had the right idea. It's probably worth brushing up. Oh, Rhineford. Okay. Okay. Fair. We're going straight to the house. And just in case, where is Mommy? Oh, there's Mommy. Also, you can import your endgame from... Oh. Okay. So this does have save conversion. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Excuse me, I was sent here by a second year named Klein. You must be the one filling in. How thoughtful. You free to tutor Emil? Yeah. Take you to his room. Now allow me to introduce myself. First year member of class 7. Likewise. So we get started. Don't know orbital science. Already got the textbook ready. Turbo mode. Go! Page 40 will be focusing on the more historical side of things. For the record, Klein and I covered up the beginnings of the orbital revolution last time. Really deserved to be called a revolution. Huh. Sure you know the answer, but let me ask to refresh myself. How long did... I believe it was 50? Made it sound like common knowledge. You are a Taurus student. Oh. I can go that far. Epstein. A year after his death, that the Epstein Foundation was formed by his skilled disciples. Okay. Probably made them even harder to understand. Today's plan is to go over these topics as a refresher first. Try to cover everything up to year 1170 of the Septine calendar. Okay. Okay. The first two were easy, but this third one, if there's a third one, because stuff like this, there's usually 3 questions. Should be good, not hard to admit. Company as massive as Rhineford used just to be a single factory. Hey, I mean, Amazon started out of a guy's garage. Really is. Orbital Revolution brought about big changes just about everywhere. Safe to say Rhineford Factory's transformation into a huge corporation is one of the biggest. Certainly ended up having a major impact on Zemuria, so I'd have to agree. Wanted to ask. Oh, what was... Oh! It was wasn't vehicles, was it? Orbital Revolution, 50 years ago. That'd be wartime. Think war, you think guns? It's one of these two. Because there's no way it's clocks and cameras. And if it's not being... Oh my god. If it's not being specialized in a textbook for youngins, weapons. Okay. Sweet! Did I get it? Today's session's over. You okay with leaving off here? I was supposed to have you as a tutor. Thank you for covering. You seem to learn a lot. He's a great teacher. In fact, I put him down at the same level as Clyde. Aww. Yo! 2,000 Mira. I can't take this. Why not? People normally get paid for their work. Well, I guess. Just rude to refuse. Well, if you insist. You're welcome. Very grateful you filled in. Hey, I actually got it. Alright. Alright. Big braided D! Oh. Thank you once again, buddy! Jeez, much love, much love! Oh yeah, we gotta go deliver textbooks. We gotta deliver them textbooks! Okay. Now this one. Which teacher are you? Rean Schwarzer from Wallenstein's class. What brings you to me? May I have a moment of your time? Political and economics. That should mean, do you know this book? Ah, it just so happens the very book why do you have it? Don't tell me Wallenstein's... Wow! Wow! Hold on, let me explain. So allow me to apologize for doubting you so readily and so heavily. Raise the question. Your father is a baron, is he not? Why would someone of such worthy blood perform such menial tasks? Why are you asking me? I mean, not the work ethic or importance of the student council, but nobles have their roles and commoners have theirs. Wow. You could have a bright future. Try not to let Wallenstein's influence state it too much. Wow. Yeah. He's gunning for that title. Very, very much so. Rean, we'll give him a good 2 knuckles. Oh, that was great. Oh, you're cute. Have a question for me? A moment. Arts and economics. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did. The reason you haven't, funny you should ask. Quite the story. Very diligent. Not all just doing what was asked. I don't need to be so humble. Should have said this earlier, but think we're going. Yeah. The student's very happy. Okay. Okay. Are there any on the roof? I hope not. Oh, there was a teacher up here. Oh, the comp teacher. What do you need? Just one more time. Natural science and orbital engineering. You ordered this one? Yeah. Subscription to that magazine through the bookstore, but what are you doing with it? Well, it's like this. Ah, that'll do. Thanks. School work and doing favors for the council. You must be one busy guy. I won't deny that. Mind if I ask what you're doing up here? Evading all of my teacherly responsibilities. Oh. That's cool though. Just doing enough work to keep my brain fried. Okay, no offense. Work too hard. Today's free day, so... Yeah. Okay, that teacher's pretty nice. Like, my god. Okay. I'm guessing they're outside the student union building? Maybe? Because they're not inside the building. Which means... Yep. They're in the side buildings. Okay. Find books detailing key terminology. So an epiphany, I had so many unopened cases from CSGO, because I had them over the year. They went up in price and I sold them for about 10 to 90 cents each. Made about a cool 15 euro. Nice! Nice, good sir! I remember back in the day, buddy used to go to school. It was telling me about how he sold a knife in CSGO for like 900 bucks. I was just sitting there dumbfounded at the prices of cosmetics. What's more? True. And that comes out in, what, 10 days? What's more? Book tab for future reference. Oh, I'm really hoping the special edition, if they do one, will have the OST with it. Because, like, I want the OST for these games. Gotta track down the stuff. The skin for the Dragon Lord came out. You could say, holy! Wow, okay. People really love their cosmetics. Holy crap! I'm in charge of history and literature. Yeah. Oh yeah, my behind the... All of them think he stole. Okay. No trouble. The War of the Lions. Wait, where's the other teacher? Are they also up here? No, but in order to withdraw that money, you had to sell it through sites that buy and sell skins. True. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay, now, where is this last teacher? Are they in the auditorium? Or have I delivered all of them? Which faculty member wants me to guess? Delivered behind the War of the Lions to Thomas. I've delivered 4. Was there only 4? I could have swore you said there was 5. Hold up. Choto a minute. Is there a green marker out here? Class 7 dorm. Okay. means this book's going to Sarah. Yup. Mary, what's up? Oh boy, she's still drinking. Get the feeling the odd magazine in the pile is probably hers. You wouldn't ever know what this is, would you? The Empire's hottest spots. Oh, this magazine I used Academy money to buy. Didn't think you'd read it too. Let's not jump to conclusions. Now looks like I was right on the mark. Truth is, thanks. Explains a lot. Seems like your work for the council's varied. Might as well have a little luck. Flip flip. Might be the most carefree person I've ever met. It's a magazine. You should be fine with your own money, not the Academy's. It's for your field studies. What? I'm reading this so I can research potential field study locations. Yet here you are assuming I'm using it to plan a sneaky little holiday for myself. That's pretty rude, you know. She really is always looking out for her. Oh, the booze here looks pretty good. First she tells me about Seldik's beer, now this. Gotta appreciate a magazine that covers an adult's needs. I take it all back. The only person she's thinking about is herself. Oh my god, Sarah! Oh. Looks like you made all the deliveries. What a boon you've been. Thank you. I want to give you something token gratitude may come in handy at some point. Ground bait. Huh. Okay, book delivery's complete. Which means old schoolhouse. First, oh yeah, the student union building. Yeah, floor 1 of student union. That's right. Shop by. Okay. Imperial Chronicle. Cat. Yep, we're going in. Cancel. Was I just supposed to go straight in? You may begin when you are prepared. Yep. Use the key. Alright. Time to call anyone I can count on for backup. Wait, hidden quests exist? Uh-oh. Wait, a support slot? Huh? Finalized party? Yeah. It's been about a month already. Still kind of scared we can't leave this place locked and pretend nothing weird's going on in here. Especially the principal himself asking keep exploring. We'll just have to take things nice and slow. Counting on you guys. Just do everything I can to assist in name Class 7. Even if more fiends were to appear, I'd relish the chance to test my mettle against them. Feel a lot safer with you around, and hearing the stories about this place, quite honestly, I'm having no time believing it. A building changes its layout on its own seems kind of impossible. Imagine the only way to truly believe it is see with your own eyes. So as we step through that door, you'll be left with no option but to accept this place is not as it seems. You're in for quite a surprise. Come on, let's go. Party 2. When you have 5 or more party members, you can... Oh! Okay. During character's turn... Oh my god, the beautiful... elevator room. Huh? What the... What's going on? Really is completely different from the last time we were in here. What's the public? I don't know either. Wasn't there last month either. None of this was. Staircase leading down to the ruins is completely gone too. She said she was going to investigate as well, but she didn't mention anything like this. Maybe someone sneaked in and did this? It's too large scale to have been done in such a short time. Likely explanation seems to be the ruins have changed their layout again. You can't be serious. Truly a fascinating place. Standing around's not going to get us anywhere. Let's go take a look. Mechanics! Yeah! If I were to guess something similar to an elevator. Wonder if let's go. There we go. We can use this to send one floor down. There appears to be other floors beyond that too, but accessing anything lower is locked. The area explored last month would be the first floor. Didn't realize these ruins went down further than that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 more visits to the old schoolhouse. Huh. Proof is right here. All the other floors are off limits. No model number, date, or anything either. Same time as the building itself back in the Middle Ages. Well informed on technology. It's not often girls develop such an interest. I don't know all that much. It's pretty low level stuff. Plenty of other people can tell you the same thing, I'm sure. So what are we gonna do? You wanna try using the elevator and go down to the 2nd floor? I think we should. Though we have no idea what's gonna be down there, so we're gonna have to be very careful. Make sure you're... Let's go to floor 2. 2nd floor, I guess. None of this was here last month. Kinda eerie. Door looks... Okay, expect more monsters. Be careful, monsters in here may end up being... At least for worries, 5 of us shouldn't have any problems. Links! See? See? I remembered this time. Yeah, this formation seems alright. Now we save! Yay! I get approval! Okay, that's a big... That is a big old spider. It's weak to water? Oh. Its name is Lantern Spider, so I guess that makes sense.
さてと今だよもらったやったねアリサこの調子でいきましょうやったわ
Whoa. That's holy this wait, what time is it? Oh shit. I didn't realize it was late already. Yeah. Actually, right now seems like perfect time to call it here.